clicked it. But I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
Hi there,
Oh, there it
welcome to Due To Underwhelming Demand, podcast that lives up to its name. That's a fact.
It really does. Someone
does.
said to me, I love your podcast name. I'm like, well, but do you?
Do you really? Do you really?
Yeah.
We are Dave, Rachel, and Forman. And if you know who we are, thank you. If you don't know who we are, how can that be? But we'll explain. We used to have a little radio show together. Now we don't. So we decided to do a little podcast together because we just can't not be with one another. It just
Can't stop, won't stop.
No, and we've
Can't stop
endured
us.
so many technical difficulties just to be together, as a matter of fact.
Yes, we
that's
have.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a fact too. That's a fact.
I can't
And,
even.
and
I
there's
can't
no
even,
engineer to call and be like,
No.
it's not working.
I can't even share with you the sound effect of the beer that I already opened in frustration just to
Yeah.
see your faces.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Foreman's having a beer while we do the podcast. I love that.
I should have. I didn't know we were doing that today. Next time.
No, I didn't either. But
we're
next
all going to
time.
bring drinks.
Next
Yeah.
time. Okay, so here we are. It's the podcast. We just have a little radio show. We're going to begin today's episode. Rachel, you're having problems at home. Oh, no. We're
Yeah.
here to
Well,
help. We're here
are
to
you?
help.
Okay. I
Oh,
can't wait for
we are-
this.
You know,
We are
people might be
listening,
wondering, aren't you
girlfriend.
guys going to talk about anything new? Rachel's got problems with Jeremy.
Listen, I don't have problems with Jeremy. He has problems with me. That's the problem.
Okay.
That's
All
the
right. Here we
problem.
go.
It's not my issue. It's Jeremy's issue. And
It's
in
not
fact,
me. It's you.
Yes,
right.
it's not me. It's you. And in fact, I learned that he doesn't like living with any of us in this house. Actually,
You sound very understanding, so.
Very.
Okay. You guys probably know because the Blue Jays just bit the dust and lost like a little while ago.
Oh, yes.
big
8-1.
game. They're out
They
of
were
the playoff.
leading. 8-1. 8-1.
Oh my God. That's all I heard the whole game. 8-1. Come on. It was 8-1. That's all
Yeah.
for like hours. That's all I heard. So he's super into sports. If you listen to our radio show, you know that he loves sports. Maybe you don't. Anyway, he does. And he watches everything. Like we watch everything at our house, even the Little League World Series. We don't watch soccer though. That's the one thing he doesn't watch, but we
Well, he has
watch
his
the Little
limits.
League World Series.
He
Yeah.
has his limits. I don't know. The
Yeah,
World Cup's
apparently.
coming up in November, Rachel. You better be ready. I think he'll be watching.
It'll be on the World
He'll
Cup.
be watching
Oh yeah.
soccer. Yeah.
Well, he might. Yeah, he might watch the actual World Cup. Like if it's a big thing for soccer. But yeah, like the Little League World
It's
Series,
a
I
big
hate
thing.
watching that one, and it's on every August, by the way, because the little boys cry when they lose. Like it's so sad.
Who watches that?
We do. And I say to him, like, why are we watching this? Like, look at they've lost and they're so sad. These like little 12-year-old boys. And he's like, yeah, that's part of the game. I'm like, but they're crying. Like it's just a game. Oh no, that's part of it. Like he doesn't, whatever. But we watch curling, we watch tennis, we watch everything. And by we, I mean he watches it and I sit there and scroll on my phone. So he's watching the Blue Jays game. And the rest of us are in the house just trying to live our lives. And he's screaming at the TV because it was 8-1 and now it's not. And now they're losing. And so how did that happen? And so then the game ends and he's just like, oh my God, da, 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 and going crazy because he's so upset. And I can't believe it. None of the Toronto teams can do this. How did the Raptors win? Because the Blue Jays and the Leafs suck and they never win. And at this point, me and the two girls who are 9 and 5 are looking at him like, what is happening right now? Because he's standing up very angry. And he looks at us and he says, I hate living here with you three who don't know why I'm upset about sports. And we're just like, I can't help that. I don't know what to say about that.
You're
And he's
supposed
like,
to be a sports expert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
That's
forgot.
what we heard that.
I get my expertise from Jeremy. Like I learned this by osmosis. I don't care at all. Like not one iota of me gives one shit about sports.
Go on
At
that
all.
podcast and like disclaimer, host of the Sportscast. I don't give a shit.
Not a sports guy.
I don't
You're
care.
an idiot for listening to this.
That's
I
right.
interview the expert. I am not the expert because I don't care, and he knows it. So then, and now
What
at
do you
this
do
point,
while they're
he's-
talking? Scroll on your phone as usual.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm not listening.
You're not
Okay,
even
so
listening.
next
yeah.
question is. Yeah. So he's getting mad. So finally, he kind of stops because he says, "You guys don't get it, and I hate being here with you." And I was like, "Well, what?" What about the next door? They're watching the same thing and they have a house full of boys. Why don't you go there? Because they're all upset. And he's like, no, he didn't go. Anyways, and then he says, well, now that you're three of you are looking at me like I've got three heads. And we're all like, yeah, we are, because we don't get it. You know, like if I don't get it, the 9 and the 5-year-olds certainly don't get it. And so finally Kendall says, Daddy, it's okay. You don't have to be mad. And she gives a hug and he gets over it and it's fine. But he just I think it grinds his gears that he's stuck with us forever now. So that's too bad.
Well, I mean, he was able to at least vent to you, but you don't even help him when he vents. Like
I
you
don't know what
you just
to do. I said, "Oh,
you
that's
look at him
really-
like,
yeah, that's."
they don't care. They don't care.
I look at him like I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. It's a game.
Yeah, because you're going.
upset he cares.
I don't care. I don't care. And
Yeah.
so you know what that does to him? That makes
What?
it 10 times worse. All you're
Oh,
doing is
that's why he was
amplifying
mad at
the
us.
problem. That's what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what he meant, that he doesn't
Yeah.
like living with us for that. Yeah, because it makes it worse. So
You're listening to Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that, again, lives up to its name. But we
nobody
do have
wanted
yeah,
the podcast. No one wanted.
No one wanted. We do have. We want to thank though people that have actually seemed to want us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Financially.
you know what? Yes, we had
Yes.
so many people buy us a coffee on our link, buyusacoffee.com/underwhelming. That's our link if you feel inclined to donate or buy us a coffee there for $5. We would love it. So we've been able to upgrade our podcast hosting platform, which is amazing. And thank you very much to everybody who's so generously donated, because it means we can keep doing this. So thank you
Yeah.
very much. That was really kind. I was actually overwhelmed with how many people did donate. I thought, wow, this is
Yeah, it's
unreal.
very, very
So
nice. It's
thank
very,
you.
very nice.
On top
And
of
we
that,
appreciate
though,
it.
we've also gotten a lot of really nice messages. Sorry, I just banged my microphone. We got a lot of really nice messages, and one email in particular, which we're going to read for you, from a woman who met us years ago and has been listening to us forever. So thank you, and we're going to read that for you in a little bit.
Yeah, our
Okay.
email address is daverachelforman@gmail.com, and that's what you can email if you would like the shipping address for any of us. If you'd like to buy us a beer, you know,
That's right.
there's
We'll find
25%
that out.
less caps off
That's
in
right.
Halifax. So
That's right.
Oh no!
That's right.
Yeah, you were at
Yeah.
Caps Off
Yeah.
all the time in St. Thomas.
I know.
yeah,
Now, listen. While we're talking about beer, how's that beer going down? By the way, Foreman. Okay.
this beer
everything all
from
right?
North Brewing Company, the Mango Fruited IPA, is
Wow,
wonderful. I'm
fruity
actually
beer.
wearing their
Nice.
T-shirt at the same time.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at you. They
There
should
you
be a
go.
sponsor.
They're within
Well,
walking
funny
distance
thing.
of my house, and it is dangerous.
Not good.
That would
I want
be,
to talk about this something it should never have happened to me. I don't know how it happened to me, but you know how, Foreman, you know, probably, I don't know whether Rachel would know this, but you know how you don't want to
She
be
don't
that
know.
guy at the beer store. You know, you don't want
You
to
don't wanna
be
be
that guy.
that
at the beer
guy?
store.
Like a
And I was
shopping
that
cart
guy.
with bags of cans.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yes. Kind of.
No,
That
we
was
do bags
kind
and
of.
cans.
Yeah.
But Jeremy counts them and has the number on the bag of how many cans are in there. So they're just like, yep, good.
No.
gives it to them.
Well, what do you just estimate? Let's see.
No,
Yeah,
he counts them. Every
200
time he puts more in, he crosses
250
it out.
in this bag. Here you go.
No,
you don't want to be
he
that guy.
actually keeps track.
You don't want to be
Anyway.
that guy. So what
Well,
I
what guy
do-
were you?
Well, not that guy. No, I don't have the bags, and I've never understood how. And the beer store, they're so nice because they'll take those cans, even though you could be lying to them. How do you know there's,
Well, Jeremy
there's-
does write it down
There's
every time. he puts more
300
in.
cans in here, sir. Sure there are.
They just take
Sure.
it.
Yeah,
They
of course
take
they
it.
do. Well, they're nice people. I discovered that because I'm not that guy. I'm so organized. So I used to, when I ran out of beer, I would take my empties and I would go buy more beer, and then I would come home.
Oh,
And
you
that's
returned
the
them
cycle.
every time?
Every
Wow.
time, once.
Good for you.
So I would go.
Yeah,
I didn't
kidding.
save anything, but then I kind of got into craft beer. And as Forman knows, most of the craft beers that you buy now, I'm not at the beer store very often to buy beer. I go to the beer store just to take back the cans. That's all I do.
Right.
I go and take back. Yeah, and they're all
Right.
cans. So what I
Okay.
do is when I'm there, when I'm taking some back, I ask them, can I have some of the little boxes that you put the cans in? Can I have some of those? And they're like, yeah, sure.
Mhm.
They got a stack of them now. So I keep my cans all organized, and I've got them. And anyway, so I went back with 6 cases of cans. Now, I don't know why I waited so long, but I don't like to go.
cases.
6. That's 6 times 24.
Okay.
We've had them
I'm
for a
sure
while.
we have more than that in our garage right now.
Anyway. So I'm wheeling the thing up. I get the thing. I get the card. I put them on there. I'm wheeling it up. I don't usually go to the beer store with my wife, but it was a weekend, so she came with me. So she's about to go in, and it was a windy day. It was a windy day, and
Yeah.
somehow the wind gusted right as just before I got to the door, and one of my things went over, and then they all went
boy.
over.
Oh,
There were
no.
cans flying everywhere.
All 6?
Everywhere. And I stood there and went, and my wife is running. She is off and running. And then some other guy's off and running. They look like chickens. They're here, they're there, they're dashing
what were
all over
you
the
doing
place.
at that
Well,
time, sir?
I grabbed a few that were around me and thought,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going home. I took what little I found, put them back in the vehicle, and thought, I am not staying. I don't want to be that guy.
You were just going to leave them all over the parking lot?
I just want to go home. I want to walk away from this.
Yeah.
That's right. Everywhere. They're everywhere. And they're making
Yes, but
noise.
you have to help clean them up. You can't just leave them there.
I did help clean them up, and there was a really nice guy who were running all over the place with a bag. Then the beer
that's
store
nice.
employees all came out. Everybody
Oh,
in the
wow.
beer store came out. It was a scene. I mean, it was
Oh
a
my
party.
gosh.
It was a party.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're lucky you had all that help.
Yes. I'm never going back. I will never go back. But I do recall the one.
Yeah, but
young,
I think I feel like if it's like such a disaster, then people feel bad for you. If it's only like you're being annoying, then everybody will judge you.
oh, come on.
Yes. Now,
So,
if you're
all right, so-
sad, everybody
sure.
will help you, right?
I don't know, Forman, if you were to see a
this
situation
sad
like
sack.
that, would
Lost
you
all of
would,
his beer cans.
would you feel sad, or would you just start recording and go, I got to show people this? Look at that clown. Look at him. So when it was all said and done, the young lady at the till said to me, did you get all of the cans? And I said, yeah, I think. Yeah, they're all here. 6 cases.
Were they all full? I mean, if they were all full again, then you got them.
Well, there were some bags. There was a lot of it was very because they came out with their with the big crates.
Right, because everybody was picking them up.
Everybody was picking them up. So I said, "Oh yeah."
I think it was such a disaster that's why people helped you.
Yeah. Oh, it was a disaster. Yeah, I'm not going back. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that nobody really needed, and we're happy to bring it to you. So Forman, we used to all work together, Dave, Rachel, and Forman. And in Forman,
it was a lot better in the same room, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Forman now is in a different part of the country. I mean, you moved to Halifax, and you do a morning radio show there. What's your radio show there called? Forman and his buddies?
We're having hella fun every hella morning.
Hella
Oh my
fun
God,
in the morning
I love
with,
that.
With
Hella
Forman
fun
and
in the morning.
Halifun in the morning with Forman and his
Yes.
buddies. So
Yeah, no, it's
that's-
Melody and Forman in the morning. We're on Hot Country 103.5. We also have a weekly podcast as well on all the same platforms this one is on. Please
cool.
listen to it. We could use the downloads.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I will,
Although I
actually.
do like we're having Halifun with Forman and his buddies in case you want to change it.
We probably missed a good opportunity there.
Yeah, you missed that one.
You did,
So
yes.
what I'm wondering, and I don't know whether this has occurred to Rachel, but this occurred to me the other day when I was doing one of the many things that I do around the house now that I don't have a radio program. I was making the bed. And
Dave started doing chores in his retirement.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Good.
So I'm making the bed, and I thought it just occurred to me because I knew that we were going to be getting together to record another episode of the podcast. I thought to myself, Forman now is having Halifun in Halifax. Does he?
As we all say here.
He hasn't brought it up, but I wonder, does he now own a boat? Forman?
Yes.
Oh, my.
You should
I'm
have a boat.
so angry I
Yeah.
don't have a boat.
You
What?
don't
You
own a
are
boat.
actually?
I don't own a boat. I don't own any kind of watercraft, and it pisses me right off.
Weren't
Oh, Forman.
you were like the president of the Canoe World Series or something. Like you need to have a boat.
Yeah.
What?
I was in
The
the Little
president
League
of-
World Series of canoeing.
New World Series. That's
Best
right.
Phantom
The-
Boy.
Yeah.
The World Cup of canoeing.
Yeah,
The
so when
World
we
Cup.
lost, we cried.
Well, they're about the same age as those boys. Yeah.
I want to
Well,
cry
this is-
now because I don't have a boat.
Well, this is what I'm
I-
saying to you. Like, if you live in,
Yes.
this is what I don't live by the water. The closest water to me is like I think Medway Creek, and it's really not that much to look at. Okay, so it occurs to me that if you live in Halifax, you are by the sea, the ocean. It is
Yep.
there. You must.
Right there.
You have to have a boat. Like, for instance, if you live in Halifax, I just assume, because I, again, don't live there, but I just assume that lobster just fall out of trees. I mean, they're just there, right?
They
Am
are.
I right, Foreman? Everywhere.
everywhere.
There's lobster everywhere.
And what
know,
you
like-
don't notice until you live here is that not only is everything you're saying about the ocean hella correct, but
Right.
also there are so many lakes. Dartmouth is half of the town, and it's called the City of Lakes. There's lakes.
Yeah.
You can have a regular
Water everywhere.
home in the city backing onto a lake with a dock, and the world is your oyster, and there's freaking
Wow.
oysters.
Yeah.
And there's oysters. Yeah.
And there's
there is.
oysters. Of course there's oysters. Oh, yeah,
Wow.
So you don't have a boat. When are you getting one?
We don't have a boat. We're not on the ocean. We're not on a lake. We have a worse view of other people's homes here than we did in St. Thomas. And I live with somebody who hates the water, hates the ocean, gets
Really?
seasick in a car,
She
Really?
does? Oh, I
and
didn't
has
know
no
that.
interest in being in a boat with me at any point whatsoever for all time.
How did you, the president of the Canoe World
That's right.
Series, marry her? Who
Yeah.
doesn't like to be on boats?
I don't know.
Oh, you
Now we
spent
have a
your-
lot to think about.
You spent the early part of your early years on the water, did you not? I mean, I don't know where.
Yes.
I don't know where. You're from the Ottawa area. I assume on the
Yes.
Rideau Canal. I have no idea.
Well, it's connected to the Rideau Canal. It's the big Rideau Lake. It's part of the whole system. It
There
you
you
can do
go.
a
Rideau
whole
Lake.
loop from Ottawa to Kingston to Montreal
Yeah.
and back around again. Ashley's terrified to go in the lake there because she thinks there's sharks in the lake. Because
Okay, well,
somewhere
that's-
down the line in the connection to other lakes, there is
Yeah.
technically access to the ocean.
Sure. Yeah, I get
Well,
that
I think
because I hate
get
fish.
that.
I get that. I don't like to swim in lakes and oceans because
I hate.
I don't go in very deep. So, but on a boat, there's no fish on the boat that are going to eat my toes, so I'm good.
Yeah.
But she's seasick on the boat, so
Okay.
what the hell?
Oh yeah, well that's a
You may
that's a
may
problem.
want to point out to her that now
So-
that she lives in Halifax, she is much closer to the sharks than she was at the lake in Ottawa. I'm just saying, she's a little closer.
Yeah.
To them. And by the way, there's whales and everything else out there. You know,
Oh, my
FYI.
God.
So if you're in
We
a
went
boat,
on-
Rachel, you're not worried about fish. There are whales.
Yeah, but
Hello.
the whales they don't bother you on the boat.
We went on this tour.
You're in their way. They do.
I'm assuming they don't.
I got to tell you, we went on this tour because when you live here, and this may be a whole other separate topic for another episode, but you have to play tour guide to everybody who wants to come here and be like, let's go visit the East Coast. You can show us around. Well, I don't know. I just got here
You
too,
must
you
know.
dick.
You must know where everything is.
So we go on this tour boat with some very, very special guests, which again may be part of another episode. And
Okay.
it's this old-timey war machine that's an amphibious vehicle. So you take it, you get a tour guide, and somebody's on the microphone telling you quasi-semi kind of facts about the town on
Okay.
the roads. And then it dives into the harbor, and then it's a boat also. She's telling
Oh.
us about all the marine life that lives in the harbor, like the oysters, and there's lobsters, and there's seals and porpoises, so like dolphins. They all live in there. And also all the great white sharks. The look I got from Ashley as we're in the boat
Oh my. Yeah, I
about
wouldn't
the
be
sharks,
thrilled.
which I'm not quite sure is a real fact anyway. Sharks in the harbor, come on.
Well,
Well,
I'm
I
never
mean,
going in there again.
it could. Well, you're not
this is
swimming
why
in there.
you
That's
need
for
to have
sure.
a boat. I don't understand how you don't have a boat. I don't know
Well,
how any.
Forman needs the boat, but Ashley
Yeah.
doesn't need the boat.
I know. The
Ugh.
first thing I've done
doesn't-
with everybody when I played tour guide is I take them on the ferry across the harbor between Halifax and Dartmouth. You know
Yes.
who's never been on that ferry? Ashley.
Really, at the ferry, you can sit like way up high. It's like
I know, but
big.
it's a boat. I can take the boat, and she doesn't want to go on, so I'm taking all the chances I can get.
Wow. You live in
Yep.
Halifax by the sea, no boat. That's
no
sad.
boat. Poor
That's
Forman,
sad.
Shame.
champion
Shame.
canoe club
Shame.
winner,
Shame.
president of the Canoe World Series. No boat.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast. We are Dave, Rachel, and Forman, and you can get a hold of us. We have a Gmail account, so if you want to
Yeah.
contact us for any reason at all, maybe you want to sponsor the podcast, send us an email. We'll read it. Well, somebody will.
We'll read. Yes, we'll listen. We'll promote your business, whatever.
Absolutely.
Or if
Funny.
you want to just send us any notes, which people have, and we've gotten a really nice one. Our
Yeah.
email is daverachelforman@gmail.com.
Funny
Forman, you got an email there.
Bring that up, Dave, as about how somebody will read your email and essentially excluding yourself. Because
Well, I won't be. I'll read the email if somebody tells me it's there. That's right. I don't.
There
No, you
is
won't.
another one actually in our email for Dave.
Oh, is there?
And it's a question for Dave. Maybe we should
Oh, okay.
answer
Well, I'll
that.
get to that. I will get to that. I
Okay.
promise. Okay.
well, we have a great letter from Isabel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hi,
this
Dave,
is
Rachel,
so
Forman.
nice.
My name is Isabel. I'm 23 years old. I grew up listening to you guys on BX93.
Oh no.
Now, even we feel old. I
Yeah.
imagine how Dave feels, but even Rachel and I feel
Okay.
old now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a kid, I would sit in the back seat while my parents had your lovely voices in the car. I can recall it from around age 10.
Whoa.
Wow.
As I got older and transitioned to the front seat and eventually the steering wheel, one thing never changed, and that was what I listened to every morning. I was thrilled when the original radio podcast came out, so I could, and still can, go back and listen to it all, or maybe what I missed. Even when I moved out of Ontario, I still made sure to hear your voices every morning.
Wow.
Aw, thank
Yeah.
you.
Dave and Rachel are a pillar of my childhood, and now my
Pillar.
adult life.
Wow.
And when Forman came on, that turned two wonderful people into three.
Well, there you
I
go.
love you all dearly for the laughs and companionship. You are truly the funniest people I've ever known. One
Oh.
day I will never forget is September 11th, 2016. It was the CCMAs in London. I was there on the green carpet to hopefully catch a glimpse of the stars, and then I saw Dave and Rachel.
That's right.
I asked
were
you
there.
two to come over so I
Yeah.
can meet you and take a picture. Do you guys remember that, by the way?
I do remember that.
Yes,
Yep.
I think so. Yes, I do remember that.
You
'Cause
better
it's
say
very-
yes, even if you don't.
It always
I
surprises
remember
me when somebody
people
wants a
were
picture
calling
like
us-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you and I were hosting the green carpet, is what it was at the time. So we were
Mhm.
kind of there in the middle of it and just waiting for the celebrities to pull up.
And I was
And-
further down the green carpet
Yep.
with Lindsay.
You were.
Lindsay and I were doing some videos, talking, chit-chatting with the stars and doing shots of maple syrup
Mhm.
and a bunch of nonsense.
Shots of maple syrup.
Yep. And I remember a group of people calling us over. Hey, come
Yeah.
over. And so we went over and said hi. Yeah.
I thought there would be stringent rules on like, oh, you were bringing in a bag, I have to inspect that. Nobody inspected anything. I could have brought in all the booze I wanted. I hate that it was only
Next
maple
time.
syrup, but
Next
yeah.
time.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so Isabel came to take a picture. Rachel said, "You're just waiting for the real stars," and to this day, I still can't help but think, "Oh, you are the real stars to me."
Oh boy.
Oh.
That's
The
so
worst
nice.
part of the whole experience was my phone didn't save the picture we took together. It broke my
no.
heart. I can't even
no.
think about it without wanting to cry because that picture should be in a frame, damn it.
Oh, I'm so
Wow.
sorry.
Anyway, thank you for continuing on with a brand new, fantastic podcast with all three of you beautiful people. I really can't say how much it means to me. I'll be the first to admit I sobbed when Forman left. You don't have to read that, but I needed to say it. Turns out I also just said it. And when Dave and Rachel made the decision to walk away from the show, I sobbed. Thank you for everything, Rachel and Forman. Since I know Dave doesn't give a fuck about his emails.
Oh,
Your
that's
biggest
true.
fan, Isabel.
That's very nice, Isabel. Thank you for writing, and thank you
that-
for supporting us all this time. That's terrific. That's awesome. Yeah.
That is one of the nicest emails that we have ever gotten. Thank you. That was just so nice. And I do remember saying, "Oh, you're waiting for all the celebrities," because I was surprised that people called us over to say hi. And they were like, "No, you're the," and we're like, "No, we're not." But thanks, you know,
Not really.
so,
No.
I'm sorry
No.
the picture didn't turn out. I would send you another one if I could.
But
Just
now
a
we all
selfie of me,
avoid
I
each other in person at all
There isn't-
times, so
you're not
you'll
in
never
it.
get another
Exactly.
picture of us all together
I
again.
know we're never all together. Yeah,
That's true. That's very true.
Oh,
That's
well,
a guarantee.
Thank you, Isabel. I'm so glad that you found us on the podcast, and anyone else who was listening before that found us here, or if you're new, welcome. We're glad you're here.
All right. Well, that's today's episode of Due to Underwhelming Demand. That's our podcast this time around. On our last podcast, we did a Dear Dave and Rachel and Forman, and we know that a lot of people love that feature. And we're working on ways of trying to interact with you so that we can get your reactions to Dear Dave, Rachel, and Forman.
Yeah, you said there's a lot of comments across our social media from last week, so we want to get you on and make you part of the show, like where we can talk together. But there have been some technical challenges, and we are trying our darndest
Yeah, a
to
lot.
figure it out.
To fix
Yeah.
them.
We'll get to that eventually. So thank you for listening.
Yeah. Thanks.